Hello, violas. I would do you a little clip because I've been doing clips for the first and second violins on the Mozart Piano Concerto. This is because we were supposed to rehearse it last week, and of course disaster struck, and I'm feeling like we're not particularly well prepared, especially on that piece. So I thought if we could all hit the ground running a bit next week with this piano concerto, then I thought that would be a really good thing. I would probably advise, I've been telling the others, please get your metronomes out and work with metronomes. Oh, it's an absolutely invaluable way of practicing these pieces. So you're playing to a strict tempo, not your own inner tempo. And there's not an awful lot that's really sort of needs looking at with the violas. There's some good lines. Forgive me again, I haven't got my viola because of circumstances out of my control. I can't go into work to get my viola, so I'm so sorry. I'm on my violin, reading the alto clef, so sorry, Rosemary. So yeah, if I show you anything, it will be on the violin. So bar 5 and 6, 7, you are with the first, very legato, nice, warm, rich sound. And where are we? The first time that you have something really quite of significant interest that we really need to hear is bar 18. Obviously, we need to hear you beforehand, but this is just your viola specific moment. Bar 18, the rising quaver figure that answers the first violin. So you're in polyphony with the first. So they go da 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 dum, and we need to hear your response da 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 dum. Every time that sort of figure comes, please just bring it out so we hear it amongst, because it's quite a busy texture at that point. So really quite powerful there. And then I think that happens again at bar 21 onwards. When we get this figure at bar 30, very detached, a little, I'm talking to the others about nugget size. So we do da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. So I've got the first and seconds doing it like this, whatever the notes are. So you're really sort of keeping little sections, separate sections. Now, the next bit is 31, 32, 33, bar 34. This is really important because, again, you are answering both the first and the seconds with this lovely little and that happens, you're almost like a plaintive cry in response, and you're the only ones with that line, and it answers the first and second violin's line. So please, can you bring that out and make sure we really sort of hear that every time that comes. It comes different notes in 38. Really bring that out so we just hear that line answering. Then you've got lots of long held notes. When you've got the syncopations in 47, please keep them short. So really short gaps between each crotchet. Then lots of contrast between the pianos and fortes, that goes without saying really, but really bring them out, make them real contrast. Every time it comes in forte, confidence. 73, there is an important suspension. Here we go. Bar 73, you should be suspended in your divisi. So the top line then clashes with the bottom line, and that's really quite important. It's a really poignant little moment there. And I think it might happen a few times, so enjoy that when that happens. And then I think apart from that, you've then got the same figure comes back with your answering, which is in bar, I've got 116 and in 234. That's a really important, your plaintive answering the first and seconds again. This figure at just before G, I tried to do sensible bowing to help everyone. You might disagree, but it should hopefully, if you go from before G, 168, should be really long note. So that retake, if you cut, you've got a semi-breve tied to a minim tied to a quaver. If you cut that minim tied to a quaver, cut it really early, do a retake, and then you've got a nice loud MF sound at the end of the bar. And then occasionally you've got, say, 180, that's forte piano, is warm, but it needs to just be a kind of little accent coming out of the texture. And then I think it's all then largely the same. You've got a K, you've got the same answering idea. And I think really that's then applies, the rest of the movement is it all applies. Moving quickly on to the slow movement, not too slow. This is going to feel in 3, not in 6. And we start sotto voce, so really nice and soft and warm as you can. As we get to 1, 2, 3, 4, bar 4, your last 3 quavers are super important. There's nothing else happening there. Everyone else has got to rest. Is absolute silence, apart from your most beautiful. They're so important. And then in bar 6, the same thing. Your last 3 quavers are super important. We want to really hear them. And the same in bar 8. They're the leading line. They lead on. And then real contrast between the forte semiquavers and the piano semiquavers. So it'll be a... Sorry, that should be in G natural. I'm working from a tiny score and trying to transpose, so forgive me. Real contrast between the fortes and the pianos. That's the main point. Very detached little quavers in bar 13. And then bar 16, again, little kind of gaps between in the syncopation. I always give a little gap in every time I play syncopation so they don't join up and not legato. Bar 18, that moving part is quite important, so please bring it out a little, and then you can be pianissimo the second time. Was there anything else? I think just those 3 quaver leading lines that we talked about in bar 4, 6 and 8 are super important. I think the rest of the movement should speak for itself. And then we get the last movement. And just very light, again, gaps between the syncopations. So we have... so really kind of short, detached, precise. Then we have a forte piano in bar 6, which is really important. Again, still within piano. And then we have this lovely figure in bar 6, 7, 8. Bar 8, it's piano, very legato, but please do keep moving. We're all in unison at that point. So I really want to... keep it moving, don't get stagnant. And then suddenly loud forte at bar 16. Again, real contrast there, and right up to the end of that tutti section. 95, have something, I think. Oh, same at 39, move that forward, legato but not stagnant. And 95, oh yes, you are the engine with the seconds at this point. So really kind of enjoy and you're loud, and you're the ones that herald the tutti. So okay, so really nice and kind of brave, and a forte sound for us there, please. Then all applies really. That's all. Oh, you have a little answering. This is really important. We didn't spot that. 116, you've got the first violins have got a beautiful little tune. 117, you echo it, so we want to hear that. So the first violins go, and you underneath, while we're finishing that tune, answer. We need to hear that, and the next bars as well, so that we hear your little answering phrase. That's super important, that little bit there. I'm glad I checked through. And finally, there was 172 I'm looking for. Yes, 172. You are the only ones on that line. I think you're with the oboes, but you're the only ones coming. Everyone's kind of coming in canon. So that's your entry, please. Can we hear that? Really nice, confident entry. And then just watch the pull-ups into the pauses, and I think everything else applies. So I hope that's been of small help, and look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.